Hallo.
Hello, hello, matey.
What's up?
Wie geht es dir?
Fantastic. I can even see you. That's amazing.
Yes. Can I see you too? Because I have a graphic, and then I'm going to try to get you on the graphic.
Sure, I didn't know. Wait, let me turn on the streaming lights.
All right. Let's see how this works. I'm going to go to this scene. Oh, it's perfect immediately. Mate, I'm so good at this. I'm a streamer, baby. How are we doing tonight, amigo? Doing good?
I'm doing fantastic, yeah. Yeah, just generally excited for the series. Obviously, Champions League went our way, so I'm happy since 2 days already. So
Yeah, and Dortmund got
carrying
screwed. Unbelievable. Stupid VAR.
yeah.
I can't believe that you're
was...
wearing a Bayern Munich jersey, by the way, tonight. That hurts, actually. Did you do it on purpose?
No, it's actually just what I was wearing. But it's fitting.
Did you see my tweet?
I didn't. What did you tweet?
Okay, I tweeted something like, I'm going to be joined by a mysterious co-commentator who's fantastic, sweet, lovely, just supports the wrong German football team. So it's kind of funny that you're wearing this jersey.
I mean, yeah. What can I say?
All right, I'm going to turn your microphone up a tiny bit because I think you were a tiny bit quiet. So I think it should be perfect now. Obviously, guys, let me know how it is in the game. It needs to be good. Make sure that Lambo, I, and Game are all kind of even. But I think we're pretty good. I see that the boys are ready. You're in the lobby. I'm in the lobby. I am ready when they are. I can't see what people have been predicting, by the way, in the chat. But feel free to let me know once the prediction is settled. What you guys ended up voting for. What are you feeling? First thoughts, Reynor and Serral tonight.
Usually I would say 50-50, but now that I see the matchup on the first map, I'm gonna say slightly favored for Reynor.
Slightly favored for Reynor. Okay, guys, because apparently they are not playing ZVZ. I don't know what this is all about. I personally did not sign up for this, but it is not ZVZ in the first matchup. We are loading into a TVT. You still want to stay here, Lambo, or you're out of here?
I'm fine, don't worry.
All right. He's fine. I'm fine. Let's get it on. Main event of the BASILISK Big Brain Bouts, number 20. And apparently we're kicking things off on a TVT. Okay. In the bottom left side, we are looking at the main base of our Finnish Zerg player, now Terran, spawning in the blue. This is Serral. I can't believe it.
And his opponent, his teammate, it is Basilisk's Reynor.
I feel a little scammed, mate.
I would feel so as well. Especially I feel scammed, mate. I was signing up for my favorite matchup to cast, and now I got my least favorite.
Yeah, well, hopefully that's just a one-off. I kind of missed lobby chat. I don't know if they were bantering about it. I don't know if this is what they decided just for the first game, but yeah, I hope it's a one-off, and I will definitely tell them, it's like, okay, if you guys want to have some fun and play a TVT, that's fine, but I think the people are here for ZVZ, and I definitely want to see them play some ZVZ, but alright, one TVT. It does feel that Reynor has played a whole lot more Terran lately than Serral did, so I don't really see why Serral would think that this is a good idea.
I don't know. Reynor just asked him for banter, like, let's go TVT on the first map, and he just said sure. Not sure why Serral did that, because as you said, like, Reynor has been playing Terran more than Zerg, honestly, for the last, like, basically ever since Katowice, he's been playing only Terran, pretty much, so that's why I think he's a big favorite here. Yeah, Yona, we play offers actually quite often at tournaments, and Yona actually loses almost always. He always plays with Terran, and then he starts flaming us and says that we just got lucky, but like in reality, he's just not that good with Terran. So I don't know why he's playing TVT, but maybe he has something.
Okay, well, that's pretty funny to hear. So far, it seems like both of them have similar openings. It's multiple Reapers into factory. Both gases have been taken in the main base. Reynor does have a quicker reactor, so instead of going Reaper first, he just went reactor first. So I guess Reynor is slightly more greedy, but I guess nobody ever scouts in TVT, especially high-level TVT, so I guess this is okay.
Yeah, especially off-race players barely ever scout. The thing is, Reynor is playing actual build, or I'm not sure if Serral is playing one. But if Serral was watching Reynor's stream earlier today, or in general, Reynor has been playing this build basically always. So if he watches the Reynor stream, which is a daily thing now, he should know this is coming. But we'll see if he actually makes enough units to deal with it, because it's not that easy to defend.
I mean, every single time that I tune in is League of Legends though, mate, so I don't know about the daily thing.
It's true, that's true. It's League of Legends on the around noon, and then always StarCraft in the afternoon.
Yeah, I'm joking. Reynor will also be streaming quite a bit over the weekend, guys, because he did qualify for the Passioncraft tournament last weekend, and he was streaming all of that. And he was playing Zerg in that qualifier, at least the games that I saw against Forjumi, he was playing Zerg. So tomorrow and the next day, you guys should be able to see a little more Reynor streaming Zerg too. So not just League of Legends, that's just banter. Reynor is making his way to the other side of the map. He's got 4 Reapers and 2 Hellions against only 2 Reapers and 1 Hellion. Actually, this can already be very scary here for Serral, as he needs to react quickly, and he does, but his units are so lined up. Okay, that actually kind of worked out the way that he raised those depots. I mean, that's pretty cool. At first, Cyclone comes out. Serral. Hey, this should have been bad for Serral, but it's not bad at all.
That was sick. He let the Hellions in. There's no way this was on purpose, by the way. But he let the Hellions in. And he caught the Hellions perfectly. Like, that was actually sick. But yeah, I'm not giving him that on purpose.
Yeah, I do believe that was one of these it's more luck than skill moments, but it did work out in an absolutely perfect way. He goes for a very quick reactor, by the way, on the starport. So maybe he's been watching some of that TVT lady between Spirit and Gabe, which we get almost every single Monday at this point, where it does seem that the quick Viking builds are pretty damn strong in TVT at the moment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think something like this is probably his best shot at taking the map off Reynor. Reynor also likes to go into early stim, which is kind of susceptible to like tank Viking timing. So maybe he actually does know what Reynor likes to play. He's actually scouting with the medevac now.
Yeah. I want to call it as the Big Gabe special of TVP, but obviously that's very different. And Serral is just using this as a scout. I did see that something was missing. Now, Reynor, obviously, if he commits with this medevac, he's going to be in trouble immediately. I guess the best thing he can do is just unload. But he's going to lose this medevac super quick. And I think once you lose the medevac, this is not going to stay around for too much longer. Serral is not in the right position to deal with this initially. But obviously, Reynor is going to end up losing all these units. The only question is, how much damage will he get done?
Yeah, he's actually shooting at the Cyclone, so not even the SCVs. He does get 1 Cyclone. 5 SCVs is actually better than I thought, but Serral runs away here with the army advantage, obviously, and Reynor is nowhere close to having a lot of Vikings since he's still producing his first Raven now, so yeah, wow. Serral is instantly going on a counterattack.
And Reynor drops the 3rd CC, and I have the feeling that that's a little bit of that lack of TVT experience, perhaps, even though he's been the more active Terran player. I do like the move out to maybe buy some time, but the 3rd CC feels very ambitious here, because Serral is clearly going to attack Reynor, but Reynor is playing it like he wants to still be aggressive.
Yeah, there's Serral is just rallying a random tank across the map, but yeah, it's a 2 tank with 4 Vikings as support. That's actually quite scary in the early game of TVT. Even without any Marines, the Vikings can land. And Reynor is completely out of position. He doesn't have a lot of production as well going on right now, so this is gonna be super hard to clear up.
What is this attack, man? A medevac, 2 tanks, and 4 landed Vikings in the back of the main base. There's also a landed Viking in the main base of Serral. And Reynor did manage to get 4 SCVs with a single Viking there too. So that's obviously quite good, as now Serral finds a random Raven. There are just units all over the place. We are going to pull the SCVs. Will the Vikings land one more time? The answer is yes, 6 Vikings landing. Obviously, if he would have had them landed all along, that would have been sick. But now at least he saves 4 out of them. And he did get a Raven, but I still feel that that was not as bad for Reynor as it could have been.
Yeah, especially because Serral is gearing up for a bigger attack. He actually went double factory, so he's going for a tank Viking timing. This is a build, I think Human did something similar and beat Maru with it, so yep. Definitely a very special build here from Serral, but this is quite committed. There's no follow-up to this. It's not like he has stim, it's not like he has mech upgrades on it, behind it, so yeah, once he loses all of his tanks, it's going to be a little rough. I
also feel that that's supposed to be like a 2-base special kind of, no? But Serral is dropping a 3rd CC. So it's really random. Serral is going to try one more time. He's going to speed the double tank drop into the main base. There are a couple of Marines here. Marines will set up with the Liberator at first, but good job by Serral not losing that lib. Vikings will land this time, and now Reynor is going to have such a hard time cleaning this up, because the DPS of this Terran army of Serral is going to be very high. Reynor does pull all the SCVs immediately, does a good job in splitting up the Marines, cleans it up, and honestly, once more, does not lose as much as I thought he would there.
Yeah, I actually thought he would just lose the game there. He still did lose a lot of units, but I actually think both of them are kind of bad at focus firing with the tanks. They just keep shooting at the factory units instead of...
Like, so let's try again, round 3.
It's actually sick. Always 2 tanks in the medevac. At the moment he has 2 again. And he's producing them 2 by 2. So as long as the medevac survives, he can keep doing it.
He does have his own 3rd CC now, so he can obviously start building 3 SCVs at a time. Reynor lands his orbital right next to the tanks. Okay, I have absolutely no idea what I'm looking at anymore.
He's making SCV as well.
Yeah. And now Serral's gonna pick them up one more time. He's once more gonna try to fly into the main. Yes, no, maybe. He's got extra tanks on the left side. Obviously, 4 tanks and 5 Vikings together is so big. Ooh, I don't know if Reynor knows about this tank. Yeah, he did see it earlier. Throws out his cannon. Reynor gets in range of the tanks, though. Eats 1 shot.
Okay, I like this a lot more now from Serral. I think once he groups up everything and goes slowly and steadily, it's going to be very, very difficult for Reynor to dislodge this position. He's barely not in range of that tank. But I mean, Reynor doesn't have a tank now at his natural. Like, one just spawned now, so it can delay.
Reynor has to pull the boys one more time, right? That's the only way he can ever get on top of all these tanks of Serral. He will pull the SCVs, takes out the Vikings rather quickly. Can he pick up a couple of Marines and drop them on top of the tanks, or at least run them in range? Yes, no, maybe. Okay, the final Marauder. What a hero Marauder, getting in range in the middle of these 4 tanks. And Reynor does kind of hang in there once more. Serral has another rally tank to the other side of the map. But Reynor is just bleeding out a ridiculous amount of SCVs with all these cleanups.
Like, this is starting to... Like, it looks really good supply-wise for Serral, but I think once he gets broken once properly, he's in big trouble, because Reynor's gonna have 1-1 bio units against just 2 factory worth of tank production. I think Serral needs to go home and chill for a little bit.
I don't know, I think he still wants a bit more. He knows that the army is small right now, and he probably does not want to allow the bioplay to be aggressive. Round 4, Lambo. Round 4 of the medevac with 2 tanks flying into the main base of Serral. Reynor does have a couple of random Marines and Marauders right now, picking off tanks one by one. Apparently we're watching World of Tanks tonight, but this drop is actually doing a lot of damage, even more than the previous ones.
Yeah, I think Serral got a little lucky, honestly, that Reynor moved out with half of his units. Because now that the bio units have stim and combat shields, they actually trade quite decently. As you can see, you don't actually need that many units anymore to kill a couple of tanks and Vikings. But every single time Reynor does this defense, he loses so many SCVs. So at this point, he's down by almost 30 SCVs at this point.
Yeah. We have 2 extra factories going up in the main base of Serral. There is still no armory inside, but yeah, all of these bases are going well. And the mech player is now actually out-expanding the bio player, but I do understand what you meant earlier. Like, the game looks disastrous for Reynor, and if this was, let's say, Gabe against Spirit, then we know that the guy with mech is going to close this out. But it is very uncomfortable to play mech against bio if Terran is not your real race. It's very easy to get picked apart eventually. So if Reynor ever gets like 4 medevacs full of bio units, he could possibly make a pretty epic comeback here with those 1-1 upgrades that he's working with as well.
Yeah, he has nice upgrades. There's also no buffer. Like, there's no Hellions for these tanks. So if you're just caught out of position in general, it's super, super difficult to play from the mech's perspective. Here, for example, he's just not in position since his Vikings have to cover for the main base. And the only ground units that he has are tanks. So he really needs to be on top of splitting his units correctly.
Yep. Serral is gonna rally 2 tanks. Yeah, that's probably not quite enough. Oh, actually, nice repair. Lost 14 SCVs. There are still bio units now working on a refinery, but the Vikings were keeping the main base safe. And gotta say, Serral weathered this storm without too many issues. Reynor has picked up a single Marine that's now going YOLO. Gung-Ho in the natural gets 1 SCV, gets taken out as well. Has a sensor tower. Is probably sick and tired of that double drop of tanks in his main base, but yeah, it's not going to be that easy for Serral to close it out, but he's still in a very good spot.
Yeah. I do wonder though how, like, I think by the time Serral is maxed, Reynor is gonna have a decent supply as well. And if there's actually 2-2 against 0-0 mech, especially if it's Marauder heavy, you can trade quite hard. Like, it's gonna be difficult for him to move out on the map, because if the bio player with superior upgrades gets us around, I still think it's not over by any means.
Reynor's got 5 upgrades, Serral's got 0. Reynor sees the tanks there and realizes that he just does not quite have the right amount of units to fully go for it there. And Serral's is going to try to stabilize on 4 bases. I do really like this random depot on the left side that Serral now tries to get up for the second time. Just anything to give himself a bit more map vision, since he obviously knows that Reynor's army is a lot more mobile.
Yeah, I like it as well. Also good sensor tower coverage. Reynor's sensor tower doesn't actually cover any of the outside tracks, so that's why Serral now can find the space to harass with the Liberator without them being spotted as well. Reynor is expanding on location now as well. I think he could even go only orbitals. That's what I like to do against mech players.
By the way,
That's
I
a
don't
nice
know
bout
how
combination.
often you go up against Vikings, but have you noticed like a big difference in battling Vikings in your own game in this patch compared to the previous one?
Well, I'm a Zerg, so I don't really play as much against Vikings, but when I off-race with Terran, it does feel quite a lot nicer to play Vikings. For example, when I play off-race and I play Vikings against Carrier,
Yeah.
it feels a lot better. Like, the Vikings feel a lot nicer to control.
Yeah.
Before, it always was kind of difficult to stay out of Carrier range, and now it feels a little easier.
I'm completely with you, man. It's one of these changes that I just kind of read over and thought no big deal, but Vikings feel so much better against Phoenix Colossus as well than they did before. It's honestly a pretty crazy change, but yeah, I guess as a Zerg you don't have to worry too much about it.
Yeah.
How much have you been playing, by the way, over the last few weeks, Lambo? I don't see you a lot.
Well, I have changed my mouse, and that's also my hotkeys, because I used to hotkey all my units on my mouse.
Oh, you got a normal mouse?
Yeah, I have a normal mouse now, so I had to get used to that. So I just played ladder. I'm back to 6.7k, but I still don't really feel like I'm playing too hard with the new hotkeys, as Reynor is actually now fighting. And this is what I was talking about, it's 2-2 versus 0-0. This is exactly what I meant. The mech units are just not that good without upgrades in the middle of the map, so you cannot move out at all. And I think Serral just died.
Oh, what a surround, what an engagement there by Reynor, who hang in there, lost SCV after SCV. We do have Hellbats getting a couple of shots off there, and Serral does have bigger production now. He's building 4 tanks at a time, so he doesn't quite have to get taken out there, but that was an absolutely beautiful fight. Nice job there by Serral though with his Vikings. Hey, that's the new and improved Viking, Lambo, you saw that? Slightly quicker in getting those missiles off. And Serral hangs in there, but yeah, that was a painful one, and that's absolutely not a fight that can ever repeat. Because then this game is straight up over.
Yeah, I think if Reynor continues his efforts, or he's actually gonna try again. I'm not sure about this one, since there's 5 tanks. The Vikings can still land as well. All the medevacs are dead. It's still a decent trade. It's just the upgrade lead that is working so well for these Marauders. I mean, at this point, Reynor also is mining with 5 bases. And those are 5 orbitals, so he's gonna have an insane mineral income.
There are 6 factories though on the side of Serral. So he does have a lot of production. He still has a reactor on his starport, so he can produce 2 Vikings or 2 Liberators at a time. And it does seem that this game will go on, and even though I was ultra happy to see TVT, I gotta say this TVT is definitely delivering, where both players are finding some good momentum from time to time, and it does feel like first it's all Serral, now suddenly it's all Reynor, but Blue Flame Hellions counterattacking one more time. This wall-off is not quite a wall-off, so Hellions will just get in there, and Serral's gonna get a few SCVs, but more importantly, just buy time for himself.
I think Serral now realizes, because he saw with the Liberator, the base building on location, that maybe there's more bases that might be orbitals as well. I'm not sure if he ever saw it. No, he didn't see any of the 4th base or the 5th base. Once he realizes that, Reynor is obviously super open to Hellion run-bys, so I hope Serral capitalizes on that. Without it, I think playing his position is a lot harder than playing the bio position, because you actually just can't move out now for a very long time.
Yep, I am definitely starting to feel these Hellion run-bys, and with the 6 factories, Serral is able to get a lot of tanks out, but he does still need to weather that storm. Reynor picks up the units one more time, throws down a scan, sees the missile turrets there. There's one upgrade, oh no, he has smart service now, by the way, as well, so these Vikings can actually land very quickly after they take care of medevacs and that kind of stuff, so that's nice, and that could really help as Hellions come in from 2 different angles this time around, and Reynor brings a lot of units back to deal with these Blue Flame Hellions.
Yeah, you actually need 3 Blue Flame Hellions to one-shot a worker. I didn't know that. An SCV, that is. Because against drones you're using 2. So I mean, it's decent defense. He still doesn't actually try to attack the most exposed bases so far. Especially the gold base. You can harass so easily from even behind the mineral line. It's going to be so far away from the rally, because every time Reynor just defends his run-bys with the rally, he now is splitting up all of his units, getting ready to engage. Does Serral have enough tanks here?
Serral with a big on siege there, by the way. That's a lot of tanks to on siege at once, but he gets away with it. Reynor does seem like he's going to be able to get this command center. Command center will lift. A lot of Marauders come in from the top left, but the tanks are in a great spot. And Serral could land these Vikings to help out here. I really wouldn't hate it if he does decide to land them in the end, especially because there are no more medevacs around anyway. Not that bad of a fight for Serral. Obviously, the only big problem is that he lost the command center there.
Yeah, I think this trade was good, but he needs really, really good trades, or he needs to take care of Reynor's economy. But he can't just keep losing units like that. There's a nice Liberator run-by again against the gold base. I think that's really important. Nice snipe on the medevac as well.
Hey, I'm starting to believe a little bit in the mech here, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He has a sick army. He has a sick army. Really high supply with very little Hellions, which means he has a lot of tank Viking, which is
Oh, what are we
should
doing?
be strong on paper.
Okay, that was a bit ambitious there with all the tanks in the center of the map. There were no tanks siege up to protect these tanks that were leading the charge at all. Reynor still has a lot of bio units in the bottom right side. There's not a whole lot he can do with that at first. Could eventually use that for some sort of a 6 around. And we do have those 3-3 upgrades that you mentioned earlier already kicking in. As Serral still waiting for +2 armor. He's awfully close to +2 armor, but he's not quite there yet. For a TVT, I gotta say, this is a very enjoyable game.
Yeah, this is very nice. Oh, Reynor is actually going for it. The rocks are not destroyed yet. Oh my god, the units! I think there was a miss, really. I think he tried to split his units on the left side, and they all started going towards the left bottom instead of coming from his own third base. That was a disastrous fight for Reynor. Now he kind of has to base trade because I don't think he can ever engage in
but there's so many tanks. Look at these tanks in the center of the map. Reynor goes for it again. Does do a good job in splitting up the bio a little bit there, but obviously most of these bio units just melt. And this game, supply-wise, has been a proper roller coaster ride where Serral had a big lead, then Reynor had a 30 supply lead. And now it actually does seem that Reynor once more is in a buttload of trouble. By the way, a classic here, Lambo, is the guessing game. How many SCVs do you think Reynor lost in this game?
Reynor, I'm gonna say 75.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty good guess. Let's go ahead and take a look as he does clean it up. Whoa, 72. Man, you're so good at the guessing game. How are you this good, Lambo? You play a lot of StarCraft?
I play a lot of StarCraft.
That's an amazing guess, mate. Serral still pushing on the other side of the map. Reynor is pushing out 6 Marauders at a time as he's now finding a couple of tanks on siege. This is an orbital now too. So if you would have a couple of bio units, you could take the fight. But the right moment for Serral. Hellbats, an extra tank show up. And this army. Oh, I mean, I gotta say, this was an amazing game. Even if it was TVT. And I want to see some ZVZs tonight, obviously. But this was actually a very fun game.
That was a very fun game. Honestly, I was afraid that it was just going to end with the first Reapers and Hellions, and then it would have been not a very fun game, and we've had the exact opposite here.
Single Marauder being dropped on the other side of the map, but obviously Reynor is running out of steam, cannot produce any more units, his economy in shambles. And against all odds, I almost want to say, it is Serral who takes the 1-0 lead. Whoops, the wrong scene for me. 1-0 lead after a TVT. Yeah, I would not have predicted that.
Yeah, I'm very sad right now that Reynor is tryharding and has himself muted because I wanted to hear what he has to say about that.
Oh, this one probably hurts more than if he would have actually lost the ZVZ best of 5. I think this one hurts Reynor's ego a bit more than losing the entire series in ZVZ.
I think so too, especially because Serral has a track record of losing with his offerings against us, so he's, you know, he said it in the lobby chat as well, so he can't hate anymore. Yeah. He's been practicing Terran for a month straight and he lost.
If that first game was a disaster, I would have absolutely mixed myself in there and would have been like, guys, like, let's just play ZVZ. But that was actually really good entertainment. So from here on out, I'll just let them do whatever they want to do. The boys are in charge. If they can put on a show like that, I'm okay with it. I'll let them choose. But if it would have ended, like Lambo said, with the first Reapers and Hellions, it would have been like, yeah, guys, enough. We play ZVZ, but now I let them choose.
Don't let them choose. I'm going to tell them to play ZVZ. If they
okay, you can do that. I'll stay out of it, but if you want to do that, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I'm vetoing the TVT. So yeah. It's going to happen the next game. Like, I already know there's going to be a 5-minute game. So instead, I prefer the ZVZ. And now that I said that, it's probably going to be a ZVZ that ends with a 12 pool, but what can you do?
12 pool, drone pool?
12 for drone pool. It is possible on this map, actually.
Hey, I want to talk to you about the ZVZ a little bit. We didn't get to it yet because obviously the boys are playing TVT. It does seem like it's going to be ZVZ here, guys, in game 2. Unless somebody does something very weird. I can even swap over to the lobby already so you guys can see this. I'll let them know that. Okay, they don't need me to be ready. What do you think of ZVZ in this day and age, Lam? Because I feel like for a while, obviously, you guys in the European scene were playing a lot of Zerg versus Zerg, and I felt that all of you guys had a very good read on the matchup, and it often just came down to execution. But from what I've heard, basically all of you guys stopped practicing ZVZ, and I'm gonna go for a cliche here, but I have the feeling that it kind of starts showing that you guys don't play any ZVZs anymore. Is there any merit to that?
No, yeah, that's entirely true. Like, none of us practice ZVZ, and we're all pretty shit at it. I think this includes the Koreans as well, though. So it's an even ground.
But why? Because I feel like for a while European ZVZ was very sexy, mapped out. It all made a lot of sense, and you guys just stopped.
Well, the thing is, I literally never get ZVZs. Like, I can't remember the last time I got a ZVZ in an important DreamHack match. And in Europe, there's only 4 Zergs, and usually I don't get the other 2 until very late into the tournament, so I just practice the other matchups. And then also, if we practice with each other, we kind of showed our strategies to them. It's just a weird feeling that you get when you practice ZVZ, because it's not the most useful in most of the cases, and then also you're helping the other person, which is your direct competitor. So I pretty much only practice ZVZ with Scarlet whenever I have a WTL match that is CVZ. Other than that, I never practice CVZ, and I think Yona tries to practice CVZ. Like, he asks me all the time, but I don't want to, and I don't think any of the others do. Like, Miko practices only against AI to begin with, so he's not an option.
That is not a meme, by the way, guys. Elaser actually practices against the AI. All right, I appreciate the answer there, mate, and I'm glad that you at least somewhat agree. But I do hope that all of you guys can come together and at least play some ZVZs again, because I kind of miss that 2020, 2019 super sexy European ZVZ. Let's go ahead and introduce the nerds quickly for Game 2, as we have a pool first for this man taking the 1-0 lead after a pretty entertaining TVT. This is BASILISK Serral.
And his opponent, who won the mind games here a little bit, but lost with his main race nowadays, it is Reynor.
Yeah, and obviously we both know Reynor very well. That TVT loss, that one stinks to him because, yeah, ZVZ, I'm sure that he looks at it, he's like, okay, I want to win, but Serral can obviously always win because he's freaking Serral. But losing in a TVT against Serral, I do really think that hurts his ego a little bit.
Yeah. Also, he knows that he's gonna get teased about this. Like, we're not teasing him if he loses ZVZ against Serral, but if he loses an off-race match, Serral is gonna tease him. We're gonna tease him. Everybody will remember until the next time.
Is Serral in the great guys these days, or no?
No, he's not.
Is the great guys still a very exclusive club on Skype, mate?
It's probably the most active Skype chat there is, yeah.
I love how you guys keep the Skype service running with your great guys.
I mean, yeah. To be honest, I think Skype has been doing pretty well since COVID because of the big companies using it, unironically. But yeah, gamers use Discord, obviously.
Besides the great guys. Wow, that's a very quick lair, by the way, on the side of Reynor. Pre-3-minute lair.
Yeah. So he played against Pool first, and instead of trying to guess if his opponent went for an early speed or not, he just went for a 2-base lair, which is the safe option, and Yona tried to play safe against a 12 pool, so he went Pool first. And a good follow-up to Pool first is also 2-base lair. So we get 2-base lair versus 2-base lair with a slight lead for the person that opted to open with a hatch first. So pretty much mirrored builds with an advantage to Reynor.
Hey, by the way, because you were talking about it, but then suddenly we had that crazy engagement from Reynor, where Reynor got a very good supply lead in the center of the map. So, for the people who don't know, Lambo was pretty much the only StarCraft 2 pro gamer that used the Razer Naga. Now, if you guys don't know which mouse the Razer Naga is, it's the mouse with 9 buttons on the side that World of Warcraft players use. But Lambo was the only one that stuck through to that mouse for many, many, many years. So I can understand that if you go to a different mouse, that's a very big change. What are you using right now?
I'm now using a Lamzo Atlantis Mini.
I have no idea what that is.
It's basically like a Razer Viper Mini, similar-ish shape.
But no buttons on the side anymore.
No, well, I use the 2 side buttons, so, but no 12 buttons like the Naga.
And you actually used all the side buttons too, right, on your old mouse? You had your
I used 10.
You used 10?
Yeah, I used all 10. I use them to hotkey units because it's more efficient than jumping with my index finger for the hotkeys. Like, I can hotkey stuff faster than the other people, but I just wanted to see if I can get better with a normal mouse, accuracy-wise.
All right. Reynor is on 42 drones, Serral is on 47, but if you guys were paying attention to the beginning of the game, you know that Reynor technically had the slightly more economic opening, since he went hatch first, Serral went pool first. So if Reynor has less workers, that obviously means that he made a few more battle units. He's got 7 roaches, he's dropping a little bit of creep, but this is a bit of a fake, right? He's making it seem like he's very committed, while even dropping some creep, but meanwhile he's droning up at home.
Yep. He just wanted to make sure that he was safe at first, and then he made the units already, so he figured now he goes across the map, since he saw his opponents already safe. He needs to watch out, though, that he doesn't stay here too long, because his opponent actually has faster speed than him.
Yep. Roach speed is 85-90% done on the side of Serral. For Reynor, it's only halfway done. As Reynor is working with double evolution chamber though, and Serral is just working with a single evolution chamber for now. But yeah, Reynor did not overstay his welcome. Got a little drone advantage out of it once more. Like he basically had a lead, gave up the lead, but now retakes the lead because he did a good job in scaring Serral. And Serral makes 4 Ravages. Now that I have you here, by the way, Lambo, what do you say next Friday? BASILISK Big Brain Bouts, some main event action.
It depends on against who I have to play, because I'm still getting used to the hotkeys, you know?
Alright. We can do it on another time as well, make no rush.
Yeah, maybe a later one.
Okay. We have 4 Ravages of Serral, one-shotting one of the Overlords of Reynor, taking away a little bit of that map vision of Reynor. Reynor seems to be a bit paranoid as he drops a Spine Crawler immediately. Is that one of these heads-up moments as a Zerg player? If somebody has a couple of Ravages, takes away vision, do you get kind of scared immediately, or...?
Yeah, I think he was mainly scared because he just didn't scout at all for the drone count. So Yuna could have been pumping out roaches on 50 drones on 4 gas, and he probably would have died. But instead, both of them are playing relatively conservatively. Actually, Serral droned faster than he usually does. Usually he drones super slowly, but I think that's a sign of respect for his opponent, that he doesn't think, okay, I'm just going to outplay this guy from behind. Instead, he tried to drone up as fast as possible, so it's a super even game now.
Oh, we do have a Dropalord. A Dropalord and an Overlord morphing at the same time, but I always get a bit excited over Dropalords, because if I think of peak Serral, I will always think back of the magic that he was able to do with a single Dropalord or 2, as Reynor has a couple of roaches on move command there, but he does pay attention. This is definitely a very even game. It's also been a very peaceful game so far. Only 6 units have died in 7 minutes of ZVZ action.
Now Reynor has both of his upgrades finishing slightly earlier than Serral, so if he actually went for a super committed attack, I would say, okay, he can just probably kill him. Instead, he did go for the 66 drone, so theoretically, defender's advantage should be enough for Yuna to stay alive, but if he can take a trade right now, it should still favor Reynor.
Oh, Ravages could be a bit exposed. Reynor still feels confident in his upgrades, as he kind of commits forward to the fight for a split second. He does take a tiny supply lead, but I'm with you. It feels that normally if the army supplies are this close, a defender's advantage should absolutely reign supreme. I love looking at the minimap, by the way. All these Overlords on patrol. It's giving me a minor seizure over here, but yeah, obviously maximum map vision for both players, as Reynor needs to be careful. Babylon has a lot of rocks, and you cannot just rally your army home.
And that was pretty good for Reynor. You got to cancel on the fort base, and he also denied the +2, so Reynor certainly knew he couldn't retake it for quite a while. The one thing that's actually funny about all of these Overlords flying around is that it's extremely hard to spot a drop Overlord that just flies through the middle of the map, because there's so many things moving on the minimap. So that actually makes defending drop Overlords a lot harder. That's why they're more successful than...
Yeah. If there is nothing showing up in your Overlord, you obviously see a big dot showing up. But if there is a dot flying around next to your Overlords for the entirety of the game, at one point it's almost impossible to take care of a different dot that suddenly shows up. I think that makes a lot of sense.
But yeah, both with Burrow movement, man. Back in the day, honestly, I think if Serral was behind against anybody, but it's Burrow movement against Burrow movement, I still would pick Serral. Yeah. But nowadays, Reynor is just as fast, if not even faster.
Ooh,
so
I love this though, man. But Burrowed Roaches in the bottom left, Burrowed Roaches on the top side, and a Dropalord. We are about to witness like 5 fights taking time at the same place. And it's going to be incredibly hard for either player to micromanage. Reynor does also kind of just take the straight up fight here, and he's got a far superior concave, so the start of this fight is pretty good, but obviously Serral is going to have defender's advantage, and he's going to be able to kill a lot of drones on the other side of the map.
Yeah, Serral's counterattack is hitting fast here, but yeah, he got an insane concave here for Reynor, so the fight overall is good, but man, these roaches are just popping up everywhere while Reynor is trying to micro, so he was not fast at dealing with those, and all of those roaches are also still alive. Reynor has some drones borrowed here, which means he's mining way less than Serral now, and the defense was good enough. Serral all of a sudden 1.6k resource lost ahead, which is huge in ZVZ.
Yep.
And now going for a counterattack. He also had a lot of low HP roaches that he's healing right now.
Yeah, I love that. If you burrow the roaches, then obviously you're going to regenerate HP a whole lot quicker than if they're above the ground. Reynor also managed to sneak in a couple of roaches, though. It's not too many, but you can't just ignore them, right? 2-3 roaches in the main base, 2 roaches in the natural is not something that Serral can ignore. So Serral's also going to drop a Spine Crawler. Holy smokes, man. There's going to be so much action between these two. I don't even know where to look, and I don't know where either of them is going to look.
Well, Reynor's not looking at these roaches, at least for a little bit. Now Serral has the chance to go in and try to take a concave. Reynor obviously noticed, so he goes here with all the units and just in time comes back. But now Serral realizes the units left from the topside base, so he unborrows the Roach again. At the same time, Reynor now looking to arrest in Serral's main base. And they're just looking everywhere. I'm just glad we have the things on the minimap that show us where each player is looking. So it makes it easier for me to also notice everything.
Serral's taking a look at his main arm, and he's also going to use his Drop Lord one more time. He feels that he's got enough units here. Dropped a couple of very juicy corrosive bowls there with his Ravages. And this Drop Lord, man, I mean, this is just peak Yona, right? Being able to just be such a proper nuisance with a Drop Lord and save those Roaches over and over again. And Reynor obviously does not have Mutas or a Hydra, so it's so hard to take care of that. You basically just have to take care of it every single time the units are unloaded. As Reynor does set up a flank, Serral is kind of aware of it, so he's just fully committing to the left side. And those corrosive bowls on the right side were cash money. They don't get any better than that, but Reynor is still going to try to chase down this army.
Yeah, Serral has just been outplaying Reynor for the last couple of minutes, so at this point he's up more than 2k resource lost, and he has been outmining Reynor ever since those first Boar Roaches hit Reynor's base. Reynor never re-droned fully. He's at 48 drones right now, so Reynor basically has one shot of winning this game. It's a full-on engagement, and he has to win it so hard that he can counterattack and win.
I mean, I feel like we've been there before when it comes to the history between these two.
Yeah.
I think we all remember Thunderbird. Sure, that was Lurkers and Vipers, but that was kind of Serral outplaying Reynor for 10 minutes straight, and then Reynor just grabbed every single unit he had, ran to the other side of the map, and managed to win IEM Katowice, not IEM Katowice, but WCS Kiev back then. As we have Roaches and Ravages clashing in the center of the map. Obviously, these trades are okay for Serral, because Serral's got a monstrous bank, something that Reynor does not. Reynor doesn't just need to win a small trade. Reynor needs decisive victories and never look back, right? Just keep on going, full send.
Yeah, it has to be now. It has to be now or never. Serral actually doesn't have any larva, so if he can kill Serral's army right now, Reynor that is, he could finish him, but it's also a little bit too Ravager heavy for my taste. I think if Serral just jumps on his army now, with all of his reinforcements, I think he can clear it up.
Reynor's got 116 army supply, but I don't see it, man. This really does not look like it. He still has a couple of Roaches active on the top right side. He's going to drop 1 or 2 Roaches in the main base as well. But if Reynor loses his army, he's going to have the absolute hardest time replacing it. Serral was sitting on a monstrous bank. He won't have a hard time replacing it. Serral's okay with losing a couple of drones here and there, because every second that goes by is one that favors Serral.
Yeah, Reynor is still trying to arrest, but that just means that now he's not going to win the main army engagement, even though he had more army supply. He doesn't have more army at this place, and he kind of needed to win the army fight.
Oh, this multitasking though by Reynor is honestly starting to get some serious damage done. Reynor gets one of the hatcheries, still has that Drop Lord in the main base as well, but unfortunately for Reynor, lost all of the Roaches there. Serral has a pretty hefty supply lead, but a lot of units are still in production. Reynor doesn't know where to escape. Once more Babylon special. You can't just click units home here, they will start derping, and this army is stuck, man, and Serral is not taking any prisoners tonight. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. Reynor is going to lose all these Roaches, all these Ravages, and I think with that his hopes of winning game 2.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you could see Reynor's speed there in the last couple of minutes, but he was just a little bit too far behind, and Yuna takes the 2-0.
GG gets called. Serral takes the 2-0 lead in the BASILISK Big Brain Bouts number 20 main event. That was a pretty amazing game. I absolutely loved it. And I also love what you said, because I was the same a while ago. I was like, in the early days, if they do the same thing, Roaches, Ravages, Burrowed Roaches, you always favor Serral. But over time, Reynor has shown that he absolutely has the speed and multitasking abilities to hang with Yona. But I also think that Serral just made a statement where he's like, hey, you guys haven't seen the best yet, man. I can still do this, and I can still get the best of these super fast and speedy youngsters, because Serral just did an amazing job there with his Burrowed Roaches, the Drop Lord, and obviously his main army, as he was always paying attention.
Yeah, that was sexy. It was very difficult for him to defend while also harassing, because Reynor got that huge concave on his own third base. That was a really, really scary moment. Yeah. But he kept his cool, and he also didn't lose the Roaches on the other side of the map. Like most Zergs, they will unborrow the Roaches and then focus mostly on defending, because they're panicked, and then Reynor is just going to defend at home. But instead, he always borrowed his units, kept the Roaches alive on the other side, and made it as hard as possible for Reynor to clear them up, and that's what makes him Serral.
So we had a couple questions in the chat. Now, most of your camera is blocking my chat, but basically, I think Kato the Roach was asking, why don't players at a certain moment start adding Hydras in a game like this, Lambo?
So the thing with Hydras is that they cost a lot of money, and they take a ton of time until they actually come online, because you need the speed upgrade and the range upgrade. Otherwise, they just block your units if they're not fast enough, and if they don't have the range upgrade, they don't actually fire. And so it's usually better to just get more Ravagers, especially on choky maps, because the Ravagers force the army to move, and if the one guy invests his gas into getting more Hydras, the other guy has more Ravagers. That means the guy with the more Hydras just has to constantly move his army, which means less time of actual attacks going through. So usually you prefer Ravagers. I think the only map where this is not entirely true is Altitude, because of how open it is. I think you can actually play Roach Hydra, but on every other map I would prefer the Ravager.
Alrighty. Seems that game 3 is going to be played on Neo Humanity. What are the chances that we get something very creative with the Rich Vespian guys here?
I think there's a decent chance from Reynor, honestly. Yeah, I hope he just doesn't die against Link Bane if he does it randomly, because it's very, very difficult to defend against Bane. You can come like from 4 different directions into 2 different mineral lines. So Serral might not go for it, but yeah, Reynor, as I know him, there's a good chance he just takes it as a normal third base.
Alright. And quick question before we hop into Neo Humanity. It's been like 2 months right now on these maps, or even a bit longer. Your favorite 2 maps and your least 2 favorite maps?
I mean, I think Neo Humanity is not good for Zerg, but I think the map is cool design-wise, very different from what we usually see. So it has to be one of my more favorite ones. Least favorite Altitude, by far, is, even though that's very Zerg favorite, I just don't think it's a very good map.
Okay.
Let's see what else is there. I need to think. Grassfun is fine. Babylon is fine. I personally like
Ancient?
I mean, Dragon Scales is just a coda. I'm not a big fan of Ancient, even though it's also a Zerg map. I'm gonna say Grassfun maybe.
All right.
I think my favorite is New Humanity, and my least favorite Altitude.
Let's go ahead and introduce these nerds, because we see a very early pool on the production tab. In the top left side, he needs your love and support right now. The kiddo is streaming to RB_Reynor over at Twitch, guys. If you don't follow him yet, go ahead and follow him. Streams almost every single day in this day and age. Some League of Legends, but a lot of StarCraft too. This is Basilisk Reynor. Needs to turn things around. 0-2, and he's getting 12 pulled.
Yep. By his opponent, who's Yona.
The great Yona Satala.
Usually not a surprise if he's up 2-0, but against this singular person, it is actually somewhat of an upset.
There is that slow zone in the center of the map, so that should kind of be nice, right? If you get 12 pulled, you have like that 1 or 2 extra seconds compared to other maps, even though it doesn't make the biggest of difference, but you know, be harder without a slow zone.
It would be an insane map without the slow zone. It's still the shortest map in this map pool with the slow zone. So it is an incredibly short rush distance. Now Reynor got a little lucky that he got the top spawn, so his Zerglings are going to spawn a little closer to his hatchery and his opponents spawn a little further away. But it's still difficult just because of the map. Like the Zerglings hit hatchery 152, that is very, very early.
A wise man once said, Lambo, it's better to overreact than to underreact against a 12 pool. Well, Reynor pulls a lot of drones immediately. I think we can all agree that like losing 2 drones is acceptable, but anything more than 2 becomes painful, right?
Yeah, because of how many he put. I think that's a fair number. He needs to make sure to get more damage on those Zerglings. I'm very afraid that the hatchery is just gonna die. No, Yona's going for it.
Oh, I think Reynor saves it. I think he can save it. I think he can save it. It's close. No, he cannot save it. Reynor pulls a lot of drones, but still ends up losing the hatch. Oh, that's a painful start.
I think he didn't attack enough with the drones. I think he was too worried of losing the workers there, and it got a little bit too low HP. At the very least, he didn't lose any units, right?
No, he lost 0 drones, 0 Zerglings, but he did lose a hatchery.
Yeah, so overall that's obviously still bad for him. He actually went Overlord before hatchery, which I disagree with as well, but because he's already saturated, I think getting rid of the supply lock is worse than getting the hatchery first. He's also expanding forward with the rich Vesping gas, and he's actually very lucky that Serral is going gasless. So this game is not totally over. You can double expand now. That's the usual move.
I love it.
And then you can get somewhat back into the game. But
that's actually a very cool call, though, right, by Reynor. To make that call right here in the heat of the moment, you're down 0-2, you have a crappy start, obviously. Losing a hatch is not something that's supposed to happen against 12-4. I like this follow-up, man. I think it's a great response.
Oh my god, Yuna is making slow Zerglings. He's calling the bluff. He sees the forward expansion, but he says, no way you have Zergling speed, my
He's
friend.
gonna bring the
He's
queens
moving up
too.
to the queens.
Slow links and queens off creep, guys. High level ZVZ. Reynor could go for the cooling tower, by the way. Imagine how cool that would be. If Reynor would have known and he would have gone for the cooling tower, he'd be absolutely cooking, but he doesn't know. Reynor now has only built drones, fires up link speed. This Overlord is gonna give Reynor the heads up that this is happening. But I thought he looks at it. He pings. He does have a queen here too. Can he go for the cooling tower still? That would be so sick. I would love it, but I guess not.
Dude, is it actually that bad for him even if he loses his base? Serral is way up in supply. But
He's still making slow links,
queens.
by the way.
He's still making slow links.
28 slow Zerglings.
Reynor 12 pulled and then lost a WTL match against Tudming to a slow Zergling flat as well. So
Reynor sets up a
He
slow
wanted to
link
do it.
counterattack, by the way, Lambo. Can you just like let that sink in? We now have a slow link counterattack that doesn't get anything done because Serral was building even more slow Zerglings.
I mean, this is just crazy. And Reynor needs to get back and try to defend his base. He doesn't have enough units. Serral with a misclick on the hatchery, actually losing a lot of Zerglings here. Once speed finishes, Reynor can clear this up so cost effectively. The thing is, once those queens get on creep, and especially without the speed, it's just impossible to clear them up. He gets... Oh my god.
There is a spine crawler finishing up on the high ground, but I'm afraid it's too late. GG gets called, and Serral clean sweeps the main event with slow Zerglings and queens making their way to the other side of the map on Neo Humanity. Can you believe what we just saw, Lambo?
No, that was a one-of-a-kind game. This is, this is what they call in chess a unique game. It was very unique, that's for sure.
What a call by Serral to go for that. And obviously Reynor saw it, but he saw it so late. And I think maybe at one point he also thought that the queens would still go back home, but Serral never looked back. He just kept on rallying everything to the other side of the map and gets a quick 3-0 victory. 5 minutes and 17 seconds Neo Humanity. It obviously all started off with Reynor losing the hatchery, right? He was so focused on not losing more drones, and he's supposed to lose drones, that he lost sight of what perhaps matters the most, and that is, yes, keeping your hatchery alive.
Yeah, there's a very fine balance because you want to attack as little as possible to not have your drones damaged the moment the Zerglings spawn, but he just, he attacked a couple times too little or not long enough, and that just cost him. He almost did it perfectly. Like, if he attacked one more time, it was so close that if he attacked one more time, it would have been fine. But instead, it was just barely not perfect, which in the end was not good enough.
Well, let's go ahead and see if we can get a little voice chat going. Now, obviously, I do not have a graphic prepared for all four of us. I don't know if Reynor is down to actually have a little chitty chat or not, but I can send Serral a message, and I'm sure that Yona would have to have a little chat with us. And be like, hey, I want to join Lambo and me for a bit, tiny chat. And then I'll also send Reynor a message, and then I'll see if we can get some four-way banter going. You okay with sticking around for a little bit, Lambo?
Sure thing. Yeah.
All right. So guys, what I think I will do is I'm going to throw to a very quick be right back screen. And by the time I come back, we'll at least have Serral here. And then with a little bit of luck, we'll have Reynor here too. I do want to point out one more time that we have not one, but two giveaways today. !Basilisk in the chat will link you guys to their Twitter Discord. And you guys can get a Serral or Reynor jersey. This is the giveaway on Twitter. I'll post the link in the chat one more time. All you have to do is retweet and like this post, and obviously follow Basilisk on Twitter, and you guys can win one of the Basilisk jerseys. And then on top of that, did you see my giveaway, by the way, Lambo?
I didn't. What is it?
You remember these, or are you too young to remember these?
WCS cards?
Yes.
I don't remember them, to be honest.
WCS 2013 BlizzCon. Basically, all the casters and players got a card. And I saved a couple of booster packs for a very long time that I never opened, so they're unopened, and I'll give 2 of them away in my own Discord. Bloodbath. I just misclicked, but for instance, look at this. It's your boss, mate. Can you see him?
Is it Dario?
Yeah, Dr. Dario, TLO.
Oh, that's actually sick.
Yeah.
Oh, that's such a cool card as well.
Yeah, that's cool. Maru? Back then, already dominating. Still dominating in this day and age. So I'm giving away 2 of those. Basilisk giving away a jersey. All the giveaways to celebrate the 20th edition of the Basilisk Big Brain Bouts All right, guys, very quick break. And after that, I'll be back. And we'll have a little chat with at least Serral, but maybe Serral and Reynor together at the same time. I'll be right back. Alrighty. I'm back. I'm going to go ahead and invite the boys to the call. Why do I do this again? Add friends to DM. So this is going to be very old school, guys, because I did not prepare a four-way. But that's okay. Let's see if this works. I'll ask them if they can turn the cameras on as well. And then I'll show them. Hello, hello.
Hola.
Hello?
Hello, matey.
Hello, what's up?
All right. I think you cannot use your camera. Maybe you can
Nah,
actually.
because I'm streaming.
Yeah.
I'll try though.
In this day, I can actually use my camera on both Discord and stream right now.
It must be nice to be you, Kevin. I don't think mine is working.
Okay, that doesn't matter.
Wait 1 second. I'll try.
Actually,
Hello.
it worked earlier, but it doesn't work right now. But maybe it works here. Hello, Yona. All right, I'll see you, Yona. I'll start off with you then. Congratulations, Yona. That's a nice victory, especially the TVT victory. Very impressive. What was that all about, mate? TVT.
Well, I just had this very nasty little tank drop build. I wanted to get one free win off. I wanted to get one free win at some point with that build, and I figured out getting a ladder win is not that tasty as getting a showmatch win, so I used it there.
Dude, okay. It was not as free as you thought, was it? Even from behind, I made you go through it, didn't I? It was very close.
Yeah, but my hands were a bit shaky, I think. And,
Your hands were shaky.
my macro was slipping. Palm sweaty, spaghetti, mom spaghetti.
Our second game, I think we had some proper old school ZVZ magic. I'll start off with you, Yona, and then obviously Reynor, you can say whatever you want about that game. Babylon, Reynor went for a very quick lair. You followed it up with a pretty quick lair yourself, and then all hell broke loose with roaches everywhere. How did you experience Babylon?
Well, surprised I lost my fourth base so easily, but I'm not sure he was ahead in supply. He probably was a bit ahead in supply because I had a supply block there, but he still had a bit more than I thought he would. So that was a bit disappointing, but besides that, I mean, losing the base wasn't that impactful even because Reynor had no drones at his fourth base, so I was just lacking some larva. But yeah, it's just a fun little game. I think he was really low on drones at the end there, and that's why I lost a couple of fights there. And then I lost my third base as well very late in the game, but yeah, I liked it.
Reynor?
Yeah, it was fun, man. It was fun. I liked it too. I wanted to test him a little bit. I wanted to know if he still got it. He still has it. I think my game kind of went to the trash can when I didn't see the overlord drop in the main. I knew he was doing it. Mm-hmm. Again, you know, he likes to do that in Roach vs. Roach, and I was expecting it, but I just didn't see it. And also, I had some roaches in the left with an overseer, scouting for his roaches, and apparently they found it, and I was a little bit AFK, and I didn't see them. So they went through, and that's kind of when the game fell apart. But it was fun. I liked it. I would have always thrown down a Spire, though. I hope Yona knows this. The Spire wasn't coming. I was testing you a little bit, you know.
What? Spire in that game? It's a 2-base Rose versus 2-base Rose. No way.
Always Spire. The Mutas.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
I let you slide this time, you know. I let you slide. Next time you'll see 6 Mutas at 6-minute mark.
It's okay. New Hydras will help me.
Yeah, sure. Copium.
Lambo as neutral referee here. What do you say? Was there a room for a Spire in that game?
No. In 2-base layer versus 2-base layer Spire ain't good. If any, a very late Spire maybe. Maybe very late Spire.
Of course. And listen, man, there's always room for a Spire against Diona.
Always room for a cheeky Spire. He does hate them. Even if you get one Muta out, he mods already. So
yeah. It's like his gameplay goes down by 50% if you have one Muta out. It's
true. All right, and Reynor, I'll start off with you then. When it comes to Game 3 in Neo Humanity, I think we all know that it went wrong in the beginning. The 12-pool defense. What went wrong, amigo?
Well, first of all, I went for 17 gas, so I went for the faster gas, and that already doesn't help against the 12-pool. Plus, I think the map is actually quite good, but I don't know. I think in that case, I should either pull all the drones and go for a fight, or I don't know. It was just unfortunate that I went for that build, and plus the map I think is quite good for 12 pool. I don't think I could have done much more, honestly. Like, I was trying my best with the micro, but I probably should have pulled every drone and YOLO the fight or something. I don't know.
And after that, you obviously tried to come back with the Rich Vespian Geyser, and then Serral had a very creative response.
Yeah,
I saw you ping a couple times once the queen showed up on the minimap. What was going through your mind?
I don't know. It's just when I lost the base, I typed GG and then I took it back. I was like, I'll play a little more. Maybe we can play a little longer. We can put on a show or something. And then this guy pulls the queens on me. Like, absolute. I don't know. I don't even want to say it. Unbelievable. Like, there was no way I would win that game. But yeah, I guess that's the quickest way.
Have you ever built that many slow Zerglings, Serral?
Yeah, I have, but I mean, it's nothing unseen that build. I think Tudming used it once, did he?
I knew you would pull this out. Okay, I lost to Tudming once. He was doing something similar. Why are you laughing? Unbelievable.
No, but I did because you took the forward base. That's I wouldn't have done it otherwise, but I got scared of the forward base and that map so small that as long as I knew I can deny you from killing the rocks, I'm gonna be okay. I'm gonna win easily with that. But I mean, yeah, if you lose the hatch, the game's over already, so there's not much to it.
And Reynor, obviously, game one didn't really address it with you too much. You already said that you were very far behind. But TVT, mate, I thought it was your bread and butter in this day and age. What happened there?
My bread and butter, I literally have two builds. I have like a 2-base push, which I wanted to do, but then I knew he was up to something cheeky because I know this guy, he likes mech and stuff. I didn't want to deal with any of that, so I went for early pressure. It didn't do much damage. So I tried my best to, like, I don't know, work my way around the game, but I think I was kind of dead since the opening pretty much.
Okay. Lambo, any questions for the boys?
Okay. First off, Yona, you let the 2 Hellions in and that completely saved your game catching them in the TVT. Was that on purpose or was that just pure luck?
Letting them in or what?
Yeah, letting the Hellions in and then closing behind them.
What do you think?
Or did you just press it while he was on top?
No, shut up.
No, that was part of the plan. I wanted to separate them. Just like you want to separate sand and gold. I want to separate the Hellions and Reapers.
Makes sense.
Brilliant play. And to Reynor, I was watching your stream before the series and you were saying you were going to make a YouTube video out of this. So is that still happening now with the result? Or
Well, I said this to Jon already. I was like, regardless, I'm going to make a YouTube video. I think probably just on game 2. I think that was the most interesting. Yeah, I think that would be fun to go over with. The rest, I'm not sure about that. I think I can go over game 3 and then give a quick shout out to Tudming or something. Sure, the fans will love it.
I think the first game was good. It was a fun game.
Yeah, but I don't want to go over a TVT between us.
You should. You need to learn a lesson from Kevin. Whenever you play against Serral, it's an extra YouTube video upload.
Oh yeah, true.
Make
actually.
3 videos from it.
Oh yeah, one for each game, and then the third game lasts 2 minutes. But I will give a very in-depth analysis on why he did it.
Okay. Yeah. I'm satisfied with this. GG's. Good job, boys.
I mean, Reynor, looking forward towards WTL. And obviously both of you boys representing Basilisk on the same banner. Is it safe to say that Serral is the ace player of our team right now?
No, I don't think that's fair to say. I think, personally, like, my honest opinion is that you're still the ace player, Kevin.
Okay.
Then we also have Biomulf, which is very good right now. He's been practicing a lot. Then I think Serral could come in third, but I don't know. Like, Trigger is also very good lately. Then also you shouldn't count out my Terran and Protoss. I've been practicing a lot with them. And then maybe you have Serral, and then maybe my Zerg at the end. But yeah, I think this is the lineup we're going for with, right?
Code A guarantee.
I will hold you to this. When we're in the ace match, Shopify versus Basilisk, you better send
Rot is going.
I don't want to play against Lambo, man. Lambo's gonna go for the stupid pool first. Like, I'll be absolutely molding.
The counter to Rotti, just make a pool first.
No, we're not doing that. You excited to represent Basilisk, Yona, in the WTL together with Reynor and Trigger?
Yeah, it's exciting times. The first time I'm playing in WTL, I guess I did play in the show, one of the show matches, and then I was in the 2v2 tournament, but just want to be in a team tournament just because I feel like the environment's a bit different. It's you don't have to put so much pressure on yourself, and that makes it fun, I feel like.
All right. And last but not least, today Basilisk is doing a giveaway on their Twitter as well. And whoever wins the giveaway can select a jersey of either Serral or Reynor. So, Yona, to me the question is, who do you think they're going to pick? Is it your jersey or Reynor's jersey?
Well, it completely depends on the person, I think.
Okay, Yona, I have a question for you. Can I go for this question?
Yeah, of course.
Who do you think Slowly would pick?
I think he would pick Biomov.
I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure about that.
Let's say Jeremy wins it. Who's Jeremy picking?
Oh, Jeremy's picking Serral. I have no doubt. Like even Slowly would pick Serral, but then she came up to me. She was like, "I can't join the giveaway. I'm not sure who to pick." And I'm like, cut the bullshit. Come on."
All right, boys. Thank you so much. Obviously, I'm a bit sad it was a 3-0, but I still had a lot of fun, and even the TVT was a great show. So I really want to thank you guys for playing tonight. Serral, any final words before I let you go? And what about the stream schedule? I know you've been sneaking those streams in there.
Probably do an early stream tomorrow, but then I'm on a little break after it. Well, not a break, but a couple of, and it's like later next week.
Okay. Reynor, how's the stream schedule for the upcoming days?
Well, I have tomorrow I have Passion Craft, then I think I have another tournament on Sunday. I'll definitely stream those. I took yesterday and the day before off, so I'll probably be streaming same schedule. You can find it in my Twitch. So I think I'll start the StarCraft stream around 5 p.m. or 4 p.m. It depends when the tournament starts. I think the tournament starts at 4. I'll start it at 3:30 or something.
And are we playing Zerg tomorrow, Reynor?
I don't know, man. My group was really hard. I have like Mixu, for Jumi. I don't know. I think, yes, I'll have to stick to Zerg.
Okay. Lambo, any final words before I end the call?
No, thanks for inviting me, and I hope to play here myself soon again to keep my undefeated record.
Yeah, I mean, Wayne did make you sweat a little bit, didn't he?
Wayne is scary.
Wayne.
Wayne is one of the scariest out there, so no shame in that.
All right, Lambo, I wish you all the best. Hope to see you streaming again soon. And thank you so much for joining the ZVZ. Well, TVT and ZVZ. Thank you, guys. Have a great night. Enjoy your weekend, guys. And obviously, I'm looking forward to all of the upcoming events. Thank you.
Thank you. You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye,
Bye-bye.
lads.